The director from the hit sitcom Friends has just moved to Shanghai. Roger Christiansen, behind some of the series' most popular episodes, will share some behind-the-scenes stories and tell us what's up with his new role as a teacher here in the city.
At the Shanghai Institute of Visual Arts, a guest lecturer is pretty standard. But today, the professor is drawing a lot of attention. It might be because teaching these students is renowned director Roger Christiansen, the very same behind the enormously popular TV shows Friends and Hannah Montana.
我看老友记的时候，我就觉得，这个导演一定是个书太有意思。当我接触跟柯若杰聊天之后，我就觉得，我能从他身上看到很多，就是在老友记身上应该有的那些影子。
我非常喜欢那个罗杰导的那个老友记。 等到就真的遇到就罗杰导演的时候，罗杰大师的时候，会发现就是他整部片子当中那种气氛还有那种风格，其实在他跟我讲话的时候，其实都有体现。
Today's class, I'm actually brought a professional camera here to show students how camera works, from the technical side of it and then also from the artistic side of it. I used to be a cameraman in my earlier career, so it'll be a lot of fun for me to talk about how to use a camera.
His new studio in Shanghai is out in Songjiang and is modeled after the iconic Friends Cafe, Central Perk.
We are here in my studio where I teach and we also create projects and work on production. The most recent production we did was a project called Yao Guai, which was a combination of live action and animation. I was involved with the live action part and my colleague Professor Kaneko was involved with the animation. We're still working on the animation and the project is still ongoing. And we hope to finish it up in the next few months and start to show people what we're doing here.
Yao Guai is just one of many projects Christiansen hopes to work on while teaching here in Shanghai. But back in the US, Roger has produced some of the country's biggest kids shows.
I did a lot of shows for Nickelodeon and Disney. Shake It Up was one, Austin Alley. I also did iCarly, True Jackson, Haunted Hathaways. The one most recently, Haunted Hathaways, we were actually doing lots of visual effects, special effects, stunts, green screen, all of the latest technology to create these ghosts and these images that were really quite extraordinary and quite fun to work with.
But Roger Christiansen is still most famous for directing seasons 6 to 10 of the hit sitcom Friends. Hugely popular, the show featured the likes of Jennifer Aniston, Matthew Broderick, and Courtney Cox. Collectively, Friends aired for over 10 years and remains one of the most successful TV series of all time.
The only thing weird would be if someone didn't like Mexican food because I'm making fajitas.
Super popular here in China, talking to Roger gave us a chance to hear a few behind-the-scenes stories from Friends.
Rehearsal for me was one of the funniest times because they were able to break character every now and then, or they would stop and try to figure a joke out and make it even funnier. And the writers would even write that down if the actor came up with a funnier joke. So when you're there with the audience and the audience starts laughing, 300 people start laughing, it's hard not to laugh with them because you feel that energy. I really got to know David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston and Rachel and Ross pretty well, and they were really genuinely nice people, and they were very supportive of all of us who worked there on the set, and very friendly. But it's interesting, they really worked as a whole. They weren't just one really great actor, there were 6 really good actors that supported each other and really helped each other through the whole process, both rehearsing and performing. In terms of Brad Pitt, he was dating Jennifer at the time. So he was around a lot, and so finally one day somebody got an idea of putting him in an episode where he plays the boyfriend or the guy that hated, Rachel, which of course is the opposite of what they really were feeling. But it was very, very funny. And when we were rehearsing, Brad wasn't holding for laughs, and so Jennifer was really nervous that he would be performing in the audience when the audience was there, and that we would lose some of his lines because he would be talking over the laughter. And she wanted us to talk to him and tell him. And I said, well, why don't you tell him? And she goes, oh, he never listens to me, but he'll listen to you. And I said, okay. It's interesting, when the 8th season was coming to a close, the actors really wanted to move on with their careers. But that was also the year that the 9/11 incident happened, and it turned out that the audience in America really turned to the TV show Friends for comfort. And when that happened, the cast sort of felt that maybe they should stay with the show a little bit longer, so they went 2 more seasons after that. But basically, I think a lot of actors, and especially who do the same role over and over for years and years, they really feel that they would like to do something different. Everybody would love to see the movie of Friends. I wouldn't rule it out, but each year that goes by, I think it gets more and more difficult to make that movie. And now, how do you explain what happened in over 10 years? You know, children, new jobs, is it the same apartment? There's so many questions to be answered, and the audience, you know, the fear is to disappoint the audience, so you don't want to do that.
From Friends, Roger was also behind one of the most famous kids shows of the past decade, Hannah Montana, starring now pop icon Miley Cyrus.
Hannah Montana was another extremely popular TV show. We directed, I think, 10 episodes before it began to air, so we didn't even know how popular it was until we started airing it, and it became this huge success overnight. So many children and young people really loved the show. And she still has gone into a huge career with her singing and everything now. Miley Cyrus has gone on to do very, very well. I really enjoy Shanghai, and I like China very much. And again, this is a huge cultural place, so I can try all kinds of food here, and I can meet all kinds of people.
Roger should be in Shanghai every now and then, holding lectures, teaching, and producing some very cool stuff here in the city. Whether or not we'll be getting that Friends film, only time will tell. But until then, you can always enjoy the reruns and await the next exciting project from Roger Christensen.